Hey everybody, it's Shooter FPV, and this is the Hydra. It's a new frame by Jack Higgins, who runs Jack's 3D printing. It's a great website. He's got a lot of cool frames. He's got a 5-inch kind of like this called the Triton, which is really nice. But he also has some micro frames, and one of them is called the Dead Bat. It's really cool. You can get it as small as a whoop size, and I think like 2.5 inch. But it's a very small dead cat. It's really cool. It's got a canopy like a whoop, but it's dead cat. It looks really slick, and I think after this, I think that might be my next build. I'm just real curious on how that would come out. So, but anyway, this is a new frame by him. It's really cool. It's really strong, really light. But we'll go over that. What I'm going to do is this build video is going to be just just me putting the stuff together. I'm not going to go into soldering and stuff like that. I mean, that's just gets boring, and I don't know. I just don't care to show that to you. It's just not me. So what I'll do is, as I go through it and get it all together, I'll stop and I'll explain why I do things, where I put things, why I put things where they go. And we'll see it take shape, and I really can't wait to fly it. I'm pretty excited for this. So what we're going to do is go to the bench. We're going to get started. I'll go over the parts that I'm going to use, and then we will start putting it together. So join me on the bench, and let's get this going. All right, so I'm going to go over the frame and the parts that I'm going to use. This is the Hydra frame. As you can see, it's got 5mm arms, and it's got 2mm for the top, the mid, and the bottom. And what I like about this frame is that you can see it's kind of slammed in the middle and the back, and it drops a little bit on the front side, so it will fit the DJI camera. I'm actually going to go digital with this one, so this will work out really good. It's all solid, it's all single arm, so if you break one, you can replace it. 2 screws for each arm, so that's really cool as well. It's got 20-20, 30x30 in the middle, 20x20 in the back for your air unit or Vista, and yeah, I mean, it's super light. What I'm going to do is I am going to grab the scale, and I'm not sure how this is going to come out. I don't know if you can actually see it or not. I can't tell, but yeah, right about there. So on his website, he says it's 99 grams. So I'm actually going to weigh it here. And we actually got 97 or 98, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty darn light for a 5-inch. So that'll be nice. So let's get this out of here. So the parts I'm using, of course, is the Hydra frame. He's got 3D printed parts. So what I actually did was I kind of made my own Hero 8. I took a base from one of his mounts, but I like this Hero 8 one here. I like it a lot, and so I used Mesh Mixer to plop this on top of the base, so that'll work there. Joshua Bardwell has a video about using Mesh Mixer, and it's really cool. I mean, look, you can see it's not perfect. It's kind of weird looking, but it's solid. It's really good. I mean, I'm not going to sell this to anybody, so so it'll work. And I got some other parts here. I got the rear antenna mount, camera mount, stuff like that. So the flight controller that I'm going to use is the Hack RC F7230D. I already have this in another quad. Actually, my Skull quad, if you're familiar with that one, the green one with all the Hydra dip skulls. And it's worked out really well. I've got a lot of packs in it, so I trust it. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So that'll be the flight controller. The ESC is going to be a Hobby Wing 40 amp 4-in-1. I'm going 6S, and I think 40 amp will be good. So I guess my first pack I'll find out, right? But yeah, I think it's going to be. I think 40 amp is going to be fine. I hope. We will see. For motors, I'm going to use these are Velox and the 2206.5 1750, pretty good for 6S. I think they're going to be great. I'll just pop one of these open here. But yeah, I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to work fine. So that is the motor, or motors. And of course, Nebula Pro. Hard to get still, but we all knew that. And Crossfire. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So all of this goodness will end up in here. So what we'll do is we're going to start with the motors and the ESC, go from there. And I think this will be a really clean build. It'll be a quick one. And I can't wait to fly it. I can't wait to do it. It's going to be really cool. So, yeah, so my next part will be the motors and the ESC. And so we'll do that, and I'll show you how I do it, how I wire it, and all that good stuff. So, yep, let's do that. Let's progress, and we'll get going. All right, so as you can see, it's actually all together. I was going to just do breaks between doing different parts of it, but I just decided to go ahead and just build the whole thing, and then kind of just, you know, discuss what I did. Plus, I had some changes. I originally was going to use a different ESC and flight controller, but I had to change it because the ESC was 30 by 30, but the cap was pre-soldered, the capacitor, and it would have stuck way out and the Vista wouldn't have fit. So luckily I had a 20 by 20 set. This is the Zeus F722, and this is a 45 amp Zeus HGLRC Zeus 45 amp. So it actually fits pretty well, as you can see. You know, I don't know why I've never used this before to begin with, but it's really nice. You know, it's clean, and it's got the plug for the Vista. So yeah, I mean, it was super simple. The only thing I had to solder was the Crossfire. So I also used TPU printed wire guards. Luckily, I have my own printer, so I can do that. Protects them really well. They're pretty solid, so that's all right. The cap I stuck out this way because it definitely wouldn't have fit in here. I mean, you can tell that it wouldn't fit right there. So it's tie wrapped to be secure, but I mean, it still would have been okay. But I mean, this in a crash, this sucker's not going, you know, anywhere. I mean, you can see this thing is not moving at all. So I took the battery leads out the side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to curl it like that. So when the battery's on top, it's going to come around this way and plug in. There's a lot of dry fit involved, especially with the battery leads. I always have a problem with those because I just don't know, you know, what's optimal and, you know, what's not for the particular build. I mean, for this one, I had to go out the side because if I went straight back, the Vista, you know, would get in the way, and I couldn't. I mean, the clearance is good enough for the Vista, but as you can see, if I would have put battery leads over that or even under it, I mean, even under wouldn't have fit. So, and that's kind of why I put the wires for the Vista on top too, because I wouldn't have had room on the bottom here. They just wouldn't have fit. So put the Crossfire receiver up front, plenty of room, stuck it there with just some of the VHB tape. Camera fits well. I'm gonna have a GoPro on it anyway, so if the standoffs are in view, I don't really care. It won't get in the way that much anyway. But I think even with wide angle, I think, oops, sorry about that. I think it'll still be fine. I don't think they'll get in the way. Crossfire antenna on the bottom going across. I try to do that if I can. If not, what I'll do is I'll put it on an arm and I'll put it, and I'll put it this way. But here I could do it. I just put 2 zip ties right through the bottom, right through this bottom plate, and got it pretty solid. So, and that actually works out well. So, I mean, as you can see, oh, actually, one more thing. I had to do a little mix with this rear Vista antenna thing. The new Vistas have a different antenna. Let me see. This is Skulls, yay. But you can see I got this Vista, this one here, back in like May or June of this year, and you know, that's the antenna they got. This Vista for this one here I got like 3 weeks or 2 weeks ago, something like that. And so you can actually see that the antennas are totally different. So what I ended up doing was using a program called Mesh Mixer, and I took the base part here of a mount that Jack Higgins already made, and then this part I took from a mount that I use on one of my Source 1s. I like it because it's way up high, and so it'll put it above the battery, so the battery won't get in the way for any signal. I mean, it's DJI, so it's digital. It's not going to really affect it that much, but still. I mean, if it was analog, it would be worse, but still it gets it high, high enough to get it over the battery, so I won't have to worry about it. Yeah, I think other than that, I think that's it. Just to kind of plop this on a bit, just real loose, you can see, I mean, it's low profile. It's pretty slammed. I mean, I kind of like it. And this rear mount that I mixed, I mean, it looks like it was made for it, really. I mean, when I use mesh mixer, the parts aren't perfect, but they work. So this happens to just fit perfectly. I mean, you can see that. So, and if you look here, the clearance is, you know, great for the battery straps and stuff. I won't get anything in the way. Wiring's down low. I put the crossfire wiring under the flight controller, so that doesn't get in the way. And I mean, the great thing about the Vista is that it takes away any kind of, you know, VTX and, you know, camera soldering. I mean, I did use this once before, so you can kind of see that there. And this here, it was used with analog. I don't even think once I started this up with the analog that I did like earlier this year, I don't even think I flew it. I think I just got rid of it. So, but from what I hear, a lot of people like this flight controller. So, we'll see. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So it's together. All I really have to do now is just throw it into Betaflight, do all that configuration. Still learning about tuning, even though I've been in this hobby for a long time. Tuning is still kind of Greek to me, so we'll see. We'll see what's up with that, and hopefully, maybe sometime even this week, I can get this out in the field and fly it. So yeah, so that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer the best I can, and I'll throw up another video when I get this on its maiden flight, and hopefully it'll go well. So, all right, so happy holidays, everybody, and like I always say, rip some packs, have some fun, and we will see you next time.